Alright, welcome back to Bargain Bin. I do want
Yeah.
to preface this by saying my audio might sound different, maybe not as clear as
Okay.
usual because it's hot as balls and there's an air conditioner on behind me. And I'm trying the noise suppression thing through OBS. We'll see how it goes, if it's something I'll stick with or not. I feel like it's probably better than the more obnoxious, just constant noise that there were in some of our videos that you can go back on where I had the air conditioner going. And
Yeah.
so hopefully it's better. It's just not as crisp.
Is
Trying
what
to
it is.
figure out.
Yeah, we're going through a good old fashioned heat wave, and I think it's actually countrywide. I saw like something in South Dakota. There was like a big, huge like the asphalt split or whatever. There was like this mass. I don't know if this was the South Dakota thing, but I saw a video of like the road just like busting up, and like some person like got air because it just happened like right before they were going over. It was crazy.
Mhm.
I've never seen anything like that in my life.
And that brings us to Choo-Choo Charles. Right.
I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Bargain Bin is a series where we alternate picking a game valued at $5 or less at the time of the video. It was on sale for $4.99 on the Switch eShop. Choo-Choo Charles. All right. And so since I'm assuming you finished it,
I did.
and
Yes.
it takes about the amount of time. Usually it's a commitment of 3 hours or until completion, somewhere around there for me. But yeah, so since we did get a fair slice of it, the entire slice, we'll do a full
Yep.
review, which means we'll give it a score out of 10, and we'll start with our gut check, how we're feeling right now, and then we'll talk about it and lock in the final score. All right, 3, 2, 1, flip. 4.
4.5.
Well, that's pretty high actually for both of us. It's
You
pretty
think
high, all
so?
things considered. I was thinking as I wrote it down, I was like, yeah, it's probably more of a.
Well, here's the thing. I think it has a lot of really interesting ideas. I don't think they're implemented particularly well. Um, but I liked most of the concepts. I liked the I'm trying to think of like collect my thoughts here. I liked the general I don't know, the general vibe of the world, and it was just kind of an oddball sort of setting. And a lady with like pickles. It felt like a game for little babies for most of it. Um, but I liked that there was this implementation of an upgrade system. I liked the just the general like ability to the train. You get to sort of customize your train a little bit. It's not all that much. I could have used a little bit more, maybe of that. A little bit more variety in terms of generally everything you were doing was the same thing over and over and over again, and it never felt like there was any real penalty for anything going wrong. So I didn't like those, but had things like a stealth section, had things like uh, getting out and hiding from when Charles is like attacking you, or had any of the weapons been effective at all, I think we could have had a really solid game on our hands here. But instead, what we have is not very good
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
would have been nice to be able to just like have weapons running around and stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, like it was big on the train thing. I found for me the whole stealth mechanics, like I could never
it was
actually get it to
horrible.
work, and
No,
so I ended
no, it
up
was awful.
I ended up just every time I would get them tailing me, I'd book it to the train
Yep,
and,
me too. And I just murder
and
them.
murder them at the train. It's so
Yeah.
stupid. Like sometimes I'm trekking it like a hundred meters or whatever, and like particularly the one where there's like two levels of the mine that you go into.
Mm,
It's like
hmm.
that one. I just had to outrun the first level and get out of there.
Yeah.
But there were a couple of those guys from there. They chased me all the way out, all the way to my
It's
train.
the pathing of that is insane. I'm like, you couldn't have had them like if you get a certain distance away from them, they stop chasing you. It's like no, they'll chase you forever.
Forever. Which I
They
kind
will
of
chase you
preferred actually,
forever.
because I was like, well, if they stop chasing me, then I won't get them killed. So you just chase me all the way to my train, and I'll kill you over there. But
Yeah, I at one point I was like, maybe I should try to do a getaway and then see if they go back to where they were, and then they didn't. And I was like, okay, never screw this. I'm just gonna kill them now because this is way easier. It stays persistent in the world. I appreciated that. So the game is saving that
right.
the persistence of the enemy spawns. I'm like,
Yeah, I
okay,
was
that's good.
dreading that. Like once I died, I was like, oh, here we go. We're gonna.
Yeah,
It's just gonna be kind of to go through all these guys again. But it's like, oh no,
yeah,
actually good.
yeah.
It
That
was
stayed
painless,
persistent, which
pretty painless. So as far as like the stealth mechanic not working, it was as painless as it can get in terms of I don't have to endure a loop of like dying over and over again, frustrating or anything.
yeah,
It's pretty easy. You get in there, grab an egg. You know, the whole lore is pretty stupid, but you
yeah.
grab an
It's
eggs.
for this is a baby game. It's really
I mean,
it
it's like
feels like it's trying to be
hmm,
like edgy. I mean, it's because it's like the whole onus of it was like it came out with a huge like really popular trailer that a bunch of streamers like really liked because it was like oh it's like an evil Thomas the Tank Engine, and then it ends up being not really that. I mean, it kind of is. It's kind of playing on that trope, but it tries to be like FNAF sort of in terms of like what it's trying to do with the lore, and it's like trying to build out this world, and it just is really not interesting or good in any way.
well, it's like a meme game. You
So
know, you can't really take it too
it
seriously.
is,
That's
yeah,
why I come in at a 4, which feels pretty generous for a game of this quality. You know, it's because I don't hold it at the same level as some other games. You know,
yeah,
it's I mean you can tell what they're working with. You go into a building and it's like it's just all emptiness, and then there's like one person just sitting there or standing there in like a building, and it's just like very weird.
and
But
I know the Switch version like I because I watched some. So the final boss of this game sucks so hard. I hated it. Every second of it, I hated it. So I had to like look up. I was like, "What the hell am I doing wrong?"
hmm.
I wasn't really doing anything wrong. It turns out it's just the boss is just really stupid and cheap, and the
Hmm.
Switch version may be a little buggy. I don't know. But oh, I just needed to have hoarded
You gotta get some
uh
scraps in there.
parts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Scraps, the hottest
Um.
commodity of this game is
Yeah.
scraps. People just give you scraps for every mission.
Yeah.
Only scraps.
Yeah.
That's
There's
the
no.
reward for everything.
That's the only currency. Some of the missions earn you different weapons.
Did you 100% this
I,
game?
I did. Yeah, I got everything.
I got
So
everything but
I
like a
and
couple of
I.
the paint cans. I didn't get all of them.
Oh yeah, okay, that's true. I didn't get all the paint cans.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah,
I
I didn't care enough. Especially since it's not like
yeah
I'm sure it's like an easy platinum to get or if there's a platinum.
on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I wonder if there is a platinum for this. I wonder.
yeah, I did
Think about
all the
that.
optional missions. You got to. There's just so much adds so
Yeah,
much depth to the lore.
the pickle lady.
Pickle
The
Lady was yeah.
it was
It was
weird. There
weird.
was like the um, there was like the it's like that mission where you had to go out in the swamp.
Okay, so yeah,
I hated it.
it actually
Did you have run into the issue with at the swamp thing where you're going out there and you're taking your time and then Charles just shows up?
no.
That happened like 3 times in a row to me.
Wow. I was gonna ask you, do you know is there any rhyme or reason to the Charles appearance? Like
I think he is I don't know, like in a programming sense. I'm not sure how they did it, but I think he is actively wandering around the entire world, like the
really?
whole time.
Because
I think so.
interesting. Because I just read like I only encountered him a couple times, and it was never like a time that really set me back much, or I was in the middle of anything.
Interesting.
So it was like I lucked
Yeah.
out in that way.
So
But every time you just get murdered, which is kind of like what are
yeah,
you supposed to do? You can't defend yourself out there.
yeah. If you're running around and he catches you, you can't. There's nothing you can do except for if there's a building nearby, you can go hide in the building, and he'll eventually get bored and go somewhere else. Um, that's like I was only able to fend him off with the train once.
Yeah, same.
Every time, other time I tried it, it's just like, oh, okay, never mind. I guess I'm just gonna die now.
Exactly.
It doesn't really say. but it doesn't really like set you back at all. Like it takes like a couple scraps away from you.
Yeah.
Even if you had like 90, it just takes like, oh, it's 3 scraps taken away. I'm like, okay, who cares?
So, but I was gonna say, because for me the
yeah.
swamp, that was like kind of the most interesting part, because it actually it's the only part of the game that has a different like mechanic
Monster.
to it than anything else. Like you have to navigate a different monster.
No. There was the tribute to Slender. That's actually, I think that was the
Oh
best part of the
yeah,
whole game.
Slender Man.
The
Yeah, the
Slender tribute
pages.
was great. I love that. I was like, if more of the game had like references to other horror games, I would have loved that. I'm like, that was awesome. I was like, what a classic. It's like I go into this zone and then it's like 0 of 8 pages, and I was like, oh, I see what you're doing, and I loved it. I thought I had so much fun with that. I thought that was so cool.
So, the only time that ever got me with the jump scares was the first time that Charles came out of nowhere, and the first time I got murdered by the swamp creature. I was like, oh, that's pretty crazy. And then I realized, oh, okay, you just listen to the advice of like, you stand there, you wait for it to be a little bit further away, then you keep going. Yeah.
I think my only jump scare was one of the cult members catching me when I didn't realize that there was anyone else. I thought there was just one, and then like a guy
You
came
shouldn't
behind me.
be
He's like,
here.
"You should be here," and I was like, "Oh, I know what?" and then I let myself get killed because I was like, "Okay, well, whatever. I'll come back and try this stupid, awful, horrible stealth section."
Yeah, those guys are kind of buggy sometimes too. Like there were a couple times where I got them, they were just stuck, and then they just didn't pursue me anymore. Like there was one guy, I was like just wandering around an area, and I was like, oh, who's this? Is this like a character I can talk to? And I peek over, and it's the freaking cult mask, but he's just not responding at all. I'm like, hello? Okay, and he's just standing there in the middle. And then there was one time one got caught behind like a door. And he kept screaming to himself, you shouldn't be here. So.
You better run!
Yeah. Iconic voice lines from the cult.
No one can hear you scream out here! Or something, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, the voice acting actually wasn't terrible.
Except for the pickle lady.
It wasn't good. Except for the pickle lady. That was horrible.
Not great.
I actually didn't think it was that bad. It wasn't very good. They all sounded like kind of amateurs, but for amateur voice acting, pretty good. You know, it's a solid little first attempt. So it's like, if this is your first game, good for you. If you were veteran voice actors, I didn't recognize any of you. You know, you probably had like one recording session, so I don't really blame you for phoning it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, the stealth mechanics really, like, the fact that there's so many of them just really sucks.
I never actually got it to work once. Like, I never actually successfully did anything stealthy once.
I think I did a couple of them right, but then when I like failed a couple times, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna run back to the train and like murder these guys.
Yeah.
After I tried to outrun them that one time with the train, then I was like, no, never mind. I'm gonna kite them back. Particularly like the last zone, which that area is horrible. I was just like, no, I'm gonna draw them all in. I'm just gonna kill them all. Let's go. Let's do this.
It's because it's stupid. You can't defend yourself out there, so you have to lure them all the way to the train, and then you just one-shot them with the train. There's like nothing. So
you know, it would have been nice to have like the ability to unlock like one of the, because you see them lying around in a few places in the world. Unlock a cult member mask. Why wasn't that in the game? That way you could, like, I don't know, you could stealth around a little bit more easily. You, like, maybe can't get too close to them because they really realize they don't recognize you, but it helped you, like, blend in a little bit.
Yeah.
No, they didn't want to.
Well, yeah, maybe if it was, like, a 10-hour game, we would get that, but there's just not enough. Didn't have enough room to grow in this little thing.
Not really.
But, yeah, I mean, it's the lore is not interesting at all. You go up, talk to a character, they say something, and then you go read a letter they wrote about the exact thing that you just talked to them about. Every time.
Yep.
And it's something about what's his name doing?
Warren Charles III.
Oh yeah, of course, Warren Charles III.
That's actually one thing I'm not sure I understand. Like, why is the train called Charles?
Choo-Choo Charles. Yeah, I don't know.
Is it named after Warren Charles III? Is that supposed to be the intrigue of the game? Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
You murder, you absolutely destroy Charles, and then the post credit scene is there's all the Charles, his eggs, they're all down there. So this could happen again. It's like, okay.
Yeah, so the final boss is annoying in that, yeah, I went into it thinking like, oh, this will be easy peasy. And you're just shooting at him, he's teleporting over, and he goes into different phases, and he's just coming at you on the train. And you can only go one way on the train. You just get that train going, and then you just keep shooting. But you have to have enough scraps to heal your train up midway through, and that's about it.
Yeah, I hated the cooldown time and the overheating.
Yeah,
it was like there wasn't like a very good telegraph for it.
Yeah.
You can never really tell when it was going to overheat, other than if you were really paying attention to the gun. Some of that might be like a PC version of this game or like another console version of this game. Maybe it's a little bit more better telegraphed, but you got to have a meter or something that's because like this game looks like ass. Like
Exactly.
you can't like you got to have some sort of telegraph to the player, like what's going on, like a meter or something. I mean, there's meters for other things. The meters for the train health, your health. So I don't know.
What else is there to say about Choo-Choo Charles?
I thought the music was actually pretty decent for as little as there is. I actually like that. I thought the music was decent. Again, I think with I don't get the sense of a real vision other than haha funny meme train haha. Like, there are interesting mechanics that, had it been in the hands of a more competent dev team, maybe more talented programmers. Though I will say the persistent Charles and the persistent like death stuff, like that's good. Like, that's good that they were able to kind of manage those.
Yeah.
There doesn't feel like there's no real cohesion to really anything that happens in the game. So like the stealth sections just feel completely out of place and they're really bad. And it's impossible to tell when you're going to get spotted. The shooting mechanics are also pretty terrible, and it's very hard to aim most of the time to make sure that you're actually hitting Charles. And it's just not fun. It's just not a fun game to play. I found the fun wearing thin after maybe the first like half hour I was playing it. I was like, okay, this is it, huh? This is the whole game. this is what we're doing.
Yeah, I thought it was okay to at least like it's kind of mindless going about the different missions. They're not very interesting, but I was glad they were at least were not like annoying for the most part and how they functioned. You just kind of like. Yeah, you go if you just murder the cultists and don't even deal with how they wanted you to play. I didn't understand how that's supposed to work. Like, peek around. You can use L and R to peek to make sure you're not seen. But yeah, every time I do that, I kept getting caught anyway. So I was like,
I don't know.
Not even gonna bother. I mean, I've never been good with stealth mechanics in any game really, but this especially just didn't function well. So
yeah,
like,
it was bad. It was bad, not good.
Do you think is Choo-Choo Charles iconic enough to? Do we like the design of Charles?
Not really. Like, it's just the creepy face on a basic train model
with
like
spider legs.
The spider legs are the cool part. That's the cool part of it. But yeah, I don't know. It just felt like very much like it's just missing something. It's missing personality, I think. Like, really lean into the memification of it. Like, the Pickles lady is coming close to it.
Yeah, everybody else is just sitting on like a velvet couch or like standing on the porch, and she's like, hey, I need help with this thing and I'll give you some scraps if you help.
It's like these are supposed to be the hunters for Charles, but it's like they tried to like build out some other weird lore with like Gus the bus. So I'm like, what is that going to be the next one?
Yeah.
Gus the butt.
Yeah,
Gus
I
the
was like,
boss
are we
now.
gonna be encountering other creatures? Because I kind of like the swamp thing. It was kind of stupid
Yeah.
because you just had to keep inching forward, waiting, inching forward, waiting to get across. But it was still kind of cool. You know, it was a different vibe shift, and like you said, the Slender thing. At least if you could have cool things like that in the mix, would just mix it up.
Yeah. Well, I also like the platforming mission too. That was actually like it showed off like, wow, you can jump really far and like really laterally in this game.
The
If you
the one where
sprint
you're
and run,
going up the
you can
building.
jump like, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I actually thought that was pretty good. Like, for all things considered, like most first person type games have trouble with platforming, and I never really felt an issue in this one.
yeah.
So
Oh yeah. Also, it's so funny. Like you fall 1 foot,
and you
squishy,
oh
like
yeah.
blood's gushing. Like I
You
went.
know,
I
like,
didn't
damn,
even
dude.
fall.
You have paper bones.
I was off the top of like a little fence, and I went down like one step. And Jesus.
Yeah.
And it sounds like I'm
No,
losing
was
like
it
all my
glass?
health, but you look and it's most of
Yeah.
the time it's just a little bit, but it sounds just as devastating. Like you broke all your bone
Yeah.
every time.
Glass
Very
bones
crunchy.
and paper skin.
Yeah.
That's what you got.
But yeah, definitely needed something
Yeah.
out there. You know, it's just weird that any threat you're supposed to you just lure them all the way back to your train if you want to get rid of them. You know, give me something.
I almost felt like if you're gonna do like Thomas the Tank Engine stuff, maybe make the game a little less like dour and depressing looking. Make it look like Thomas and Friends. That would be like a lot more unsettling, I think, rather than it's kind of like just like a dank, dark, basic ass 2010 game look to it.
Or maybe like
Whereas like if you brighten it up maybe a little bit, made it look a little bit more like Thomas and Friends, maybe had like other trains in the mix, like I don't know, like have other engineers like going around.
yeah.
Again, all of these things are like things the game doesn't have, but I see more. There's more of a. I feel like there could have been a little bit more ambition, a little bit more of a vision. This has nothing, pretty much. It just is like, yeah, funny meme train, and then it's got like some missions with hints of interestingness, but none of it really goes anywhere to any sort of full cohesive anything. Like one of the things I kind of kept thinking is like if they ever possessed in their head, if Nintendo was like, let's remake Spirit Tracks, one of the things I think was great was the fact that, you know, you can just get off the train and roam around the world. I'm like, that's kind of cool. Like I'm not one of the people that hates Spirit Tracks because you can't do that. You don't have like full rain mode, like rain open worldish type free reign. But if you were to do something like that, I think that would be neat, because it's like you could use your train. Some places you can only get to with a train. You know, running around the field would kind of suck for some of it because like a lot of the enemies are trains. But like, I don't know, I kept thinking about that. I was like, that might be kind of a neat thing. But of course, I was then thinking about a much better video game in that case. So
yeah, well, if you're gonna make it so you have to ride the train to use the weapon, maybe like give yourself a tank train or something that you can move around the world in a little train with its own spider legs or something. I don't know, and so you can shoot out there,
or just give you like a disarming. Like if you don't want to give him any weapons, at least do something to like stun enemies. Be like,
right.
ha! I don't know, you like punch or something. Literally anything other than what was in it.
Yeah, so I'm kind of torn on whether where I'm gonna go with the score, because it's like it's really not good, but it's obviously a very low budget game as well. So
yeah,
I don't know. Let's see.
Can see the vision, but no vision was really implemented in the game. Very
3,
unfortunate.
2, 1, flip. 3.5.
4.
Tarqaron score 3.75. Okay.
Yeah. So, not one of the better things. Not one of the better games we ever played. But
as we talked about it, I'm like, okay, there's not as much value here as I kind of felt initially. You know, cause
yeah,
it's not like when I was playing it wasn't like I hate this. But
yeah,
yeah,
it's just it's just it is what it is. It's a meme game. It's a streamer game. That's it. That's kind of what it's for.
Yeah.
It's to give little Billy his fill for, 45 minutes as he watches, I don't know, Markiplier play it. I'm sure Markiplier played it. I don't know.
Yeah, I gotta go look who's played Choo-Choo Charles. Anybody I know of, I gotta look it up. But
yeah. I know Gargura played it. I know she played it. I don't think she beat it though. I mean, maybe she beat it actually. I don't know. But I feel like that stream was only like a couple hours, so she probably got bored because it's Choo-Choo Charles. Maybe she beat it. I don't know. I didn't watch the stream. I just know she played it. So
we did this with our Pilot Palette TV series. We should do the same for Bargain Bin. Let's rank our bargain bins so far. It's again pretty easy for me right now, but we got Lost in Random, Choo-Choo Charles, Leo's Fortune.
Oh, easy. Yeah, easy to say that. Yeah. So
I mean, they're on par with each other, this and Leo's Fortune, but I got a little more. I would rather play a game like this, a little more depth to it.
Yeah, there's a little more going on. Leo's Fortune was just like headache-inducing. This wasn't headache-inducing. It was just annoying and frustrating.
Yeah, and we've got so much room to grow with Bargain Bin. There's so many. Both times I could have picked games that are like I know are gems that were other $5, but
that's another thing too. This game is worth I would say this game is worth $5. I do not think this game is worth $20.
Yeah.
That's like a crime against humanity. Like charging $20 for this game, that's insane. But $5, yeah, it's worth that.
I guess so. I wouldn't jump at it, but
no.
It's not like something you're missing out on. Like this is a game where you could easily watch someone play it and get the whole idea without having to play it.
I think that was the intent of it. So,
but so a lot of potential to grow. Both times I saw games. There's like I know these are critically acclaimed, like indie games or whatever. I could have picked. But let me go with this different oddball pick, maybe. But next time it will be Alex's choice, which will probably be like three months from now, around there. So we'll see what that holds.
Good stuff.
So thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel for more. We have series just like this for movies and TV premieres. So
true.
And plenty of other stuff as well. Here's one such example. Random Rules is a courtesy of Lost in Random on Bargain Bin.
Yeah.
We pick a random, literally at random, Tarqaron video for you to check out next. Alright, so if you enjoyed this video, why don't you go check out Surprising Alec with a Pop from Survivor winner Todd Herzog. Yes. When we did our 5 years of Tarqaron celebration in person, I gave Alec a Funko Pop of himself designed by Survivor winner Todd Herzog.
Very cool. It's in our other room. It's some of the glue did not hold up over time, but it's an easy fix should I ever get around to resolving that. But
one of these days,
I don't want to do that now because we're moving.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to be moving. So I don't want to like fix it and then ruin it in the move. So I'll keep it in the state it's in currently.
One of these days I want to have a little Tarqaron setup behind me because I have plenty of different Tarqaron things at this point that I could prop up back there. I got the thing, I got the poster with our Tarqaron stuff on it. I got the newer one that my brother gave us with the most recent Tarqaron cards. We got the one from Lauren that she drew. There's a lot of different Tarqaron stuff I could prop up back there. And my Funko Pop as well. But, alright. Take care.
Take care.